messing up everything.
It's been Agatha all along. I told you she killed the dog. Hello everybody. Alright, the last episode of WandaVision had some shit go down. The spoiler that people had guessed from literally the first time Agnes walked in and said her name has officially become true. Agnes is Agatha Harkness. Monica Rambeau got powers. And Darcy Lewis is in the Hex. Oh, and Vision is still alive. And those are the only really interesting things that happened in this episode. Minus the post-credits scene. Not gonna lie, I feel like this is a repeat complaint at this point. The pacing of this show is off. It's just off. There are not enough episodes left for them to keep pulling cliffhangers on us. Finish the thought, please. Alright, okay, let's get into the plot and then I'll tell you about my updated theories. Also, I want to preface this by saying I have not read the comics. I have, however, read through the Wikipedia of the comic book character and their history. But, that's not very much information. So what I'm saying is I'm doing my best. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for similar content, Marvel content, TV show content, movie review content. Ooh. Alright, to the plot. Bum bum ba-dum bum. Okay, so this episode of WandaVision has met us in the 2000s Modern Family / The Office type mockumentary genre. Unlike previous episodes, the theme song is all about Wanda. Vision's name literally only shows up at the ending WandaVision title card. And Vision, as indicated by the title sequence, is not in the family home when Wanda wakes up. Also, she wakes up exhausted and in bed, still in the costume from the previous episode, which makes it the first time that her clothes have not changed when the genre and the decade have. As Wanda comes downstairs, further glitches occur. Billy and Tommy's video game controllers turn into Uno cards. Wanda's milk goes from almond to whole to 2%. Her TV switches up from modern to, completely old-fashioned. So her powers are clearly glitching and she's not at full force right now, which becomes a problem for her later. Billy and Tommy are understandably confused about the events of the last episode and kind of shaken from, seeing their mom attack somebody who they thought was her brother, thinking that their dad was dying, and just the mess of the last episode. So they ask Wanda what's happening, and instead of explaining things to them, Wanda essentially has a breakdown, says that she cannot deal with it right now, and forced them onto Agnes, who, again, very conveniently came in just when Wanda needed her so that she can take a break. Outside of the Hex, the remnants of S.W.O.R.D. are planning something suitably ominous and dangerous and kind of spooky, and that is literally all that we see of them in this episode. This part of the episode was basically unnecessary. Nobody would have been surprised if S.W.O.R.D. had done something in the next episode without any provocation or any foreshadowing. Because, need I remind you, they literally shot a missile at Wanda with 30 seconds notice. The second her eyes started glowing red, they were like, alright, time to kill her. Yeah, of course they're gonna do something. S.W.O.R.D. is not very dissimilar from the Council, in that if it was possible for them to nuke Westview and just Westview, I think they would do it. They would do it. If it meant Wanda was dead, they would do it. Meanwhile, Monica's plan begins and ends with getting into the Hex to talk to Wanda and try to help her and try to get her to turn the anomaly off. When the super high-tech car that she gets from a S.W.O.R.D. agent who likes her turns into a rusty Ford and she almost gets sucked into the anomaly, but escapes, she decides, that's cool, I'm gonna try and just walk straight into the anomaly without a helmet or any protection because her suit is not sealed. Weird things happen as she tries to push through the barrier that is actively trying to push her out, and she comes out the other side with blue eyes, the ability to see electric fields, I think, because she's able to see colors around the electric wires. Her eyes are glowing blue, and she's got powers now. Cool. But also, like, is she okay? Like, is Monica okay? Don't get me wrong. I like Monica Rambeau. She's cool, but she also seems kind of fixated on this project now. This is somebody who did not come back from the blip all that long ago, like found out that her mother died in the meanwhile, and is kind of just like lost. I don't think that she's very rational right now because she's very reckless. Like, when people in Gen Z are like down to die, most of us are not actively engaging in high-risk behavior. This woman is literally trying to charge into places where people have tried to murder her. Like, that's not mentally healthy. I don't like Director Hayward, and I don't agree with the reasons why he was pulling her for the project, but I still think that she is like way too attached to this project. But that won't stop her, because she's in Westview now. Moving on. Vision is still alive. He wakes up and he sees that the Hex has expanded and the Sword agents are now a circus, and he sees Darcy, who has been put into the position of strongman. Not as cool as I was expecting, but I don't think that they're really like... I think that Wanda may have just wanted all of them to be clowns. He breaks Darcy free of Wanda's mind control, and they both steal a car to get to Wanda. Darcy tells Vision about his actual backstory and how Wanda saw him die twice. They keep having obstacles in their path to get to Wanda, which Vision realizes is because some part of Wanda doesn't want him to come back or wants to be alone right now because she is the one controlling all of that. So he flies out of the car and he like flies to Wanda. Presumably he'll find things very different from how he left them in the next episode, because Monica finds Wanda. They have a confrontation because Monica wants to help Wanda and Wanda does not want help. And it looks like there's going to be a fight. All the neighbors are paused to be like, ooh. One of the best scenes is just when Wanda tries to like chuck Monica back like she did in the previous episode, and Monica just sort of like slams down in the stereotypical superhero pose, and Wanda's like, oh shit, I did not expect that. Monica and Wanda meet again. Wanda is talking to her, and then Agnes steers her away, once again being uber suspicious and conveniently arriving there in the nick of time. Agnes takes Wanda to her house, where Wanda notices that Billy and Tommy are not there. Wanda goes down to the basement and finds a large cavern type thing, which looks kind of like the cathedral in Age of Ultron, but I don't think that that's what they were going for. It's just supposed to look suitably witchy. And Agnes reveals that she is actually Agatha Harkness, the witch. And that leads to just a great song. Who's been ruining everything? It's been Agatha all along. Bum 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 ba-dum bum. Bum bum ba-da-dum bum. Agnes, or Agatha, uses her purple magic powers on Wanda. Wanda's eyes go a little purple and then end. Oh, and then there's a post-credit scene in which Monica is looking around Agnes's house, and we see Evan Peters no longer dressed as Pietro or with silver hair, now with brown hair and a beanie, coming up to her and saying, "Snooper's gonna snoop." So presumably he is on Agnes's side and about to deliver some kind of beatdown to Monica. And that is all that happens in that episode. We don't get any explanation on anything, why Agatha is there, why she is the villain. They're just setting it up for the next episode. Except that's what they were doing the last episode. They were setting up for the next episode. So that's 2 episodes that have been mostly setting up future episodes. Like, yeah, the discovery that Agnes is Agatha Harkness was cool, and like the way that they dropped it was cool, but also people had literally discovered it the second that Agnes said her name. Like, the second that she said Agnes, people are like, Agatha and Harkness? Agnes. So it's not really a surprise. Okay, some theories that I have. I still think Sword is Hydra. Or at the very least, I think Director Hayward and his group are Hydra. Because again, they're too shady not to be. Like, they're either Hydra or they're like an evil government organization. An evil sanctioned government organization. Second theory. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say that I think that Agatha Harkness's powers came from the Power Stone, since it was purple, but The scepter was blue and Wanda's powers are red, so I don't think that means anything. Agatha is still planning on using Wanda's control over Westview for something sinister. That one's kind of been proven. Like, she's gonna take over control of Wanda for something. Theory 4. Wanda is gonna be mind-controlled when Vision meets her. When Vision sees her, there's gonna be a knockdown, drag-out fight. It's gonna be cool, and then Vision is going to break Wanda out of Agatha's powers. I think that would be cool. They are gonna fight against Agatha and fake Pietro, and that's gonna be like the season-ending episode. And Sword is gonna, screw shit up for them and make it harder somehow. Now, questions that I have. Okay, I get it. Agnes is Agatha Harkness, but as somebody who has literally only read the Wikipedia page of the comics, what does that mean? Does that mean anything? Like, according to the Wikipedia, she's supposed to be a protagonist, or at the very least a character that's sympathetic to Wanda. She regularly helps Wanda in multiple different Avengers and Marvel comic book series. So her being the antagonist means what exactly? Like, is she supposed to be an old lady who lived through the Salem witch trials? So is she Agatha Harkness in name only, or are they going to be trying to pull some of the comic book backstory and then twisting it? Or is she actually going to be like helping Wanda? Like, she's literally been the cause of all of the shenanigans in the sitcom the entire time. So what I want to know is, why does it matter that Agnes is Agatha Harkness? Like, if her backstory is going to be different, then it's just a name drop for the sake of the comic book fans. Once again, I'm waiting for the next episode. I want to see if they're finally going to do some plot development. That is all for this video. If you like this video, please leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to watch similar content. I also have a second channel on which I post vlogs, lifestyle content, plan with me, bullet journaling type stuff. I just posted a plan with me from February, and I will be posting a plan with me for March soon. I will leave the link to that down below as well. Thanks for watching. Bye!